So it is a rainy day right now in Port Stanley, and I'm doing what I can with the light I have available. Um, so today I'm going to be practicing some of the watercolor things that I've learned over the last couple of days. Um, Looks good. Excellent. That is helpful information, and I appreciate it. So hopefully the clouds don't come in anymore, um, because then we're gonna lose all of this light. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it remains this amount of hazy. Okay, so I think that I'm just gonna be figuring it out as I go along. Um, and so these are going to be pretty loose florals. Um, I've been doing pretty well with them, as long as I don't get into my head too much, which is so unlikely to happen. I assume that these are going to look as good as the ones I did earlier today. So I am using, they're actually two watercolors that I actually put into pans and let dry. And I also, be really careful, this row here is actually some liquid watercolors, these Ecoline watercolors that I got as a present from a very generous friend. Excellent Bob Ross emoji. Thousands more people, hello. Yeah, so a very generous friend got me these liquid watercolors, and I've been using them a little bit to kind of brighten and saturate these tube colors a little bit more. So, yeah, I have no plan, which usually either works out incredibly well for me or very, very terrible. But it's a fun and fine line to walk, and I'm okay with it. So I think I'm probably gonna do a mixture of maybe reds, blues, and purples. Um, and I think they're kind of based off flowers that actually exist, but I'm not being too precious with how these look. So if they end up looking alien, I'm okay with that too. Um, yeah, so I know some of you in chat, if only through a Discord channel. No plan is the best plan. Yeah, I generally find if I plan too much, everything just goes pear-shaped, and then I end up getting upset. Um, so I kind of like to fly by the seat of my pants because it generally works out. And if it doesn't, I can pretend I don't care because I wasn't trying, which is not good, but here we are. Um, so I have been taking some Skillshare courses while I am away, and I found this lovely lady who is um, from Scotland, and she has some courses. I think they're called sketchbook practice, And I'm really super glad I found her because I'm fairly new to art and I haven't really understood sketchbooks. Um, and I haven't used them the way they're kind of meant to be used as like practice and learning. Um, because I always worry that if I create something that I think is really good, um, I worry that I'm either not going to be able to recreate it or that it's like so wonderful. And what if I want to like scan it or sell it or I don't know, any number of things. And I have always kind of, you know, been afraid of a sketchbook for that reason. But I've seen, like YouTube videos and TikToks um, with people kind of going through their sketchbooks, and there's just this like beautiful curation of art and styles and learning, and like some is great, some is okay, and I've kind of realized that like I want something like that. I want something that I can flip through um, and see my progress, or um, just get ideas and not worry about if they're good or bad, especially when I'm just learning things. Um, and so I bought this tiny little watercolor book, and I started really like I really want to fill it up in the 2 weeks that I am away. It's it's a hefty goal because there are quite a few pages, um, but I just think it would be like not only an interesting keepsake for when I'm done my sabbatical, but also just a really interesting way to kind of almost like time capsule these 2 weeks of learning a medium that I have not always enjoyed or been happy with how my work turned out. Um, yeah, Madison Maple says I can totally relate with that. Like, what do I put on a canvas and what do I put in a sketchbook? And that's exactly it. And like yes, I have ended up like creating some really cool things on canvases, but I also have a pile of like canvas boards that have just garbage on it. And, like I tried something out and it didn't work. And, maybe if I had practiced in a sketchbook, it would have been something totally different that I could have, learned from and recreated. But like I've only been doing this for about 3 years, so I'm still kind of learning and figuring it out. Um, but yeah, I'm really trying to embrace um, just being okay with practicing in something that made someone else may never see. So it's kind of something that I'm working on and feeling more comfortable with. But even over the last few days, like I've been able to flip through a few pages, and my first the first day I tried to I was doing a course where you were drawing watermelons, and it's terrible. It's so bad. And 2 days later, I'm like 10, 15, 20 times improved, and it's just really exciting to be able to see that. I tend to use my sketchbooks as notebooks as well when I'm in an art funk, not for creative writing. Just do lists and such. Oh, that's a good idea. Like kind of like in a bullet journal style or just random writing? I think both are perfectly acceptable. In fact, I think I did that the other day in my sketchbook. I was following a tutorial and there was a lot of steps. I think it was for digital. Oh yes, it was digital art, making like 3D letters. And I was like, well, it seems like putting that in a sketchbook is a great place to put it because, you know, that's where all my art is. So I wrote down all the steps so that I would know where they were the next time I looked for them. Oh, she is rainy outside. I had been feeling lazy today and didn't really want to go to the beach to look at the sunset. And I think I found my reason to not go. Not that I don't love walking through wet sand to stand in by the water, but I think I might pass today. And I know Project M is shaking his head at me. That's okay. We'll make it. Miss Maple, where are you from? I can't remember if I asked earlier. And it's perfectly acceptable not to answer me, by the way. Yes, Project M, I know. It is raining quite heavily though, which it was not the last time we talked. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a flower that is just the um the Ecoline watercolor, and I'm hoping that this color doesn't look insane. Okay, I'm try to make that's a little bit orange, but blue and orange are nice. It's okay. North Dakota. Miss Maple says, I'm from North Dakota. I always want to ask folks where they're from on the Discord and make friends, but I don't know if that's what Discord is for. There's always pressure. So, Miss Maple and I know each other from um, this artist Discord that we both like, 1000. Um, yeah, I'll be honest, like my friends use Discord and I'm fairly new to it. I think we started using it probably when the pandemic started because we have like book clubs and D&D nights, and we needed a way to be able to do that digitally. And Discord was kind of the one that everyone chose. So yeah, I am also newish to Discord and like what the appropriate uses are. Um, but the 1000 Discord is actually an amazing group. For the most part, they're super friendly. Um, I've made some I've made some friends, some art friends on there that I talk to both outside of Discord and like outside of the general chat. Um, so I would strongly encourage you to, chat with people. Um, if there's someone you kind of like connect with or think seems really nice, you can message them or even just send them a chat in the channel. Um, for the most part, people are pretty responsive and like not mean. Um, so yeah, just do it. I am a fully fledged scaredy cat, um, and I've kind of embraced just kind of going for it with a lot of things. And if it doesn't work out, well, you don't know the person anyway. But if it does, it means you have a new friend. And especially if you do art as well, there's some really excellent people and artists on that Discord that are like so willing to give knowledge and support. Um, like Oh My It's Doug has had many a chat with me over the last few months, just kind of, encouraging. And we actually did an Instagram live together, which was awesome and scary and excellent and nerve wracking. But yeah, I don't know. I always, if you can, like I know people are shy. I'm also shy, but I really try to push myself to like take chances. Like live streaming, like I'm not the best artist, but who cares? Like I'm having fun. If someone wants to hang out with me, excellent. If no one wants to hang out with me, that's okay too. So I don't know. Embrace the unknown, I guess, is my point. Because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. I think I've had some either cool opportunities or made some cool friends just by still being terrified, but doing some stuff anyway. Um, and, the worst that can happen is, nothing or, it doesn't work out, but at least you know. Or you'll like learn and do it different. Like my my first actual stream on Twitch was a black screen. I think I tried for about 2 hours to get it going, and I finally gave up. Oh, I lost my paper towel. I apologize for how loud this chair is about to be. Creak, creak. There's very little room on this desk. Scooch. What kind of things do you like to draw, Miss Maple? So yeah, oh, it's my Doug. He's quite excellent. He is like super friendly and like super supportive. Um, but yeah, I get it. It's kind of hard to like know what to say to people when you don't really know them. I think one day I just like took a chance and sent him a message, and like I feel like I have a very particular brand of humor, and I think my first message to him was like a joke or like saying something funny, and that is always terrifying because not all of my jokes translate in text. Um, but yeah, he was we seem to like have a very familiar or sorry similar sense of humor, which was a relief. Um, yeah, I totally understand uh, like not remembering how to make friends, even like with the pandemic. Even when I would see the friends that I already have, I would forget how to talk to them. And, I'm a pretty open person, and I just sort of forgot what was appropriate and not appropriate. And I would like leave our conversations being like, hey, was that weird? But eh, it comes back. Um, if you ever want someone to chat with, I am chatty. I don't have the most art knowledge, but I get excited talking about art and life and things. So feel free to say hello. Um, I actually also have a Discord channel if you wanted to join that. There are a few people on there. Um, Super nice if I do say so myself. Um, yeah, if you are interested, let me know and I'll send you the link. Oh man, you did the interview with Peter. Yes, that was beyond what I was willing to do, even though I always want to. My art page is called Eclectic Squirrel Art because I don't have a niche really. I like to do a little bit of everything, all over the place. That is exactly my vibe, my friend. So yeah, like I was saying the other day to Doug actually, um, that I collect crafts. I like learning how to do things and like knowing how to do them. So like I've crocheted, I've tried knitting, I went to makeup school, gosh, what else have I done? Mr. Maitland. Oh, I've done like glass etching and oh goodness, cookie decorating. Like I like knowing how to do things, but I have trouble sticking to them for very long. Um, but I think I've been able to stick with art for the last 3 years because there are so many different things you can learn. And, like if you get sick of one thing, you can move to something else and go back to it later. Um, and, like art skills, they, compound. Even if you're learning watercolor, some of that knowledge will, like, oh my goodness, like transfer into something else you learn. So it's all learning and, um, I don't know. Sometimes I get lost in what I'm trying to say. I don't know if this little flower is gonna look good or bad, but we shall see. But yeah, I'm constantly like switching what I'm doing. Watercolor is so therapeutic. Up until yesterday, I would have disagreed with you because it was the most stressful thing I tried because I would watch people and no matter what I did, I could not get it to look like what it was they were doing, and it was very annoying for me. But I so far have been enjoying these little flowers, and this dude is going to take 10,000 years to dry, and I should not have put him right in front of me. But here we are. Um, let's do some more blue. No, let's do some more red. The one thing I really struggle with is the like really, really light colors. I've gotten better over the last even just couple of days, but I always have too much paint on my brush. But now that I'm not afraid of a sketchbook, I will get better. I am from Toronto, Canada area. From many, many small towns. By many, many, I mean two. Lived in two small towns. But now I live in a slightly bigger city, and I've been there whew, for 20, 23 years. Whew, it's cool. I'm not feeling my age. Everything's fine. If I go off stream, it's because I am in a corner crying. Don't worry, I will be okay. Okay. Um, so I've been working with a tiny, tiny sketchbook, and this paper is so huge, and I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But that is okay. I think I'm gonna throw in some more of a reddy purple color. No, 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 I did not do the interview with 1000. Uh, I was too scared. Even the game nights, I would like to participate, but I just get so anxious, and I think I've only actually spoken in one of them, which I'll be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, but it's just tough. There's a lot of people, and I don't really know anybody. But like, I also want to support Doug because I know he puts a lot of work into these things. Oh, that's too bad. Technology can be tough, but you did it. Like, that's huge. I was not able to find the cojones to chat with him. So, like, good for you. Like, that's huge. I would clap if it wouldn't probably blow out the mic. So, feel my virtual claps. Clap, clap, clap. No, I didn't really want those to touch, but it's okay. So I'm hoping that um, these things will dry and I'll be able to add some pen to it. I've been using, so I have these fountain pens, and they've got water-based ink in them. Um, and I've been using them to kind of add details. I really thought that I brought some microns. I do have a Sharpie, but I've never actually used a Sharpie over painting before, either like acrylic or watercolor, and I'm a little bit timid about it, even though I see people do it all the time. Um, so I'm hoping that this dries enough that I can use my fountain pens and add some of the details because that really makes this whole thing like come together and look really cool. Um, so yeah, fingers crossed that this dude, he's actually looking kind of cool. I will not touch him. We've only done one game night last month. Yeah, I wanted to play the draw one, and then I got super intimidated and didn't didn't do it. And it's yeah, I get so like kind of frustrated with myself because like these are all things that I want to do, and when the time comes, just I can't do it. Um, I have taken Peter's class on Skillshare, or no, not on Skillshare. I took his monthly class. Does he have a Skillshare course? Ooh, I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, I took his monthly course, and it was amazing. Um, yeah, probably one of the best decisions I've made. Um, yeah, it was it was so interesting. Like the first part um, is like sketching and like sketching with that's gross color. Hold on. Sketching like with a pen and paper, which I do very little of. Most of my stuff is digital. That's like where I started drawing. Um, so at the beginning, I was kind of discouraged because I felt awkward and I wasn't really used to um, using a pencil and eraser on paper. It was so like foreign to me, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to come up with anything. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, but by the end of it, I had a painting that I was so super proud of, and I actually ended up selling, which I barely understood how to comprehend that happened. Um, so yeah, and I didn't paint for a while, but about a month ago, um, I started doing some more acrylic painting, and I'm really glad I did because I've been enjoying it and taking a lot of Skillshare courses and learning just like so much, and it's been fun and surprising and exciting, and um, yeah, you just have to not think about it and go for it. Yeah, I have gotten better at just taking chances. Um, I was always a kid that uh, didn't like practicing. Uh, like whether it was like school, doing homework, or piano. I just wanted to be good at it. Um, and I have really had to like teach myself how to practice things and be okay if it is crappy or doesn't turn out, because it's all learning, and that's how you get better at things. Um, but I definitely have to remind myself every once in a while that, you know, you can't just be good at everything. If you really want to get better, you have to work at it. So it's been a super fun learning experience. Um, but yeah, I keep surprising myself, and I'm always happy when it's done. So yeah, yeah, I'll definitely show you. I don't think I have any good pictures that I can show on stream. Um, and even the pictures that I took, they're not great. It looked a little bit better in person, but from like where I started and the confidence I had before that class to how I felt afterward, like I Project M will tell you, like I think I just walked around with a smile on my face for a few days because I was just like so proud of, like what I had done and how it turned out. And I was actually like getting ready to hang it up on the wall when someone was like, "Hey, like, I'd like to buy that," and I didn't know how to respond. I'm like, "Yes, that's a thing we could do. Sure." Um, yeah. And luckily, the person that bought the painting has been an incredible support and cheerleader and just kind of an amazing arty person to kind of have in my corner. So I am so grateful, and yeah, just really lucky with some of the people I've got in my life. So I'm just doing the same flower. I need to change up my flowers. I really like this one, but I don't know how I did it. Let's see if we can make another. Um, a different red. Mm, sure. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's make a hanging girdle. Yep, exactly what I was trying to do. So amazing. Good support system is essential to keep you pushing through. It's so true. Like, yeah, you know, I think I think it was I'd only been drawing for maybe a few months. Um, I think this was in 2019. Is that 3 years ago? Yeah. Um, and for myself on Instagram, I decided I was gonna make this like monthly prompt list, and or not monthly, sorry, weekly prompt list, just to kind of help keep myself on track, because I know that I have trouble, sticking with things. So I thought maybe if I had some, oof, I wish I hadn't done that. If I had some prompts that were already, like made up, maybe I would keep doing it. And amazingly, I kept it up for 1 year. But the cool part was, I think I was only like one weekend, so it was like the second week in January. Um, this girl, her name is Bronx Sophie on Instagram. I think she sent me a message. It's like, hey, can I join in with your weekly challenge? I was like, yeah, like of course, like that sounds amazing. Um, and we just kind of clicked and have become friends. And she's all the way in Croatia, and I'm here, so I think she's 8 hours ahead of my time. So chatting can be difficult because it's either really late or really early. Um, but we like managed to stay in touch, and we're both kind of each other's cheerleaders, and I'm so grateful for her. She's like I make sure I check in every once in a while and see how she's doing, and she does the same. Um, and yeah, just from a random Instagram message. So you know, I don't know. I'm just super lucky and thankful that I don't know where we found each other. Because yeah, I think we need to bring the oh, add some vines to tie them together more. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Maybe I'll grab my sketchbook while these kind of dry a little bit. Actually, I'll add something in this middle here, and then I'll grab the other ones that I've been working on just to kind of show you what I've been doing. Even like mixing colors is something that has really intimidated me, and I'm starting to like get better at just going for it. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But actually, I think I'm gonna use a different brush. Have you taken Peter's class? Yeah, when I um when I took it, so I took it like last March, like a year and a month ago. Um, and I actually wanted to um, do it over my sabbatical, which is like right now. Um, but I think I messaged someone and they said they didn't know if it was going to be available um, when I was off. So I just took it then instead. Um, and yeah, like, it's in US dollars, which, the exchange rate and all that stuff, it was almost out of my budget, but, I made it work, and I'm really glad I took it when I did. Um, because it happened to be a month that I didn't have a lot going on. Um, and, like for me, it was the right time. Um, but yeah, like, what color was this? Um, I think it's always going to be there, so I don't think you have to stress about it going anywhere. But if you ever do, have the means to do it, I highly recommend it. Um, but there's lots of stuff on YouTube as well that you can do. Skillshare is great as well. If you would like a free month of Skillshare, I have a code. Because I think I bought a year subscription, because I knew I was going to be off, and um, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. I knew I was going to be off and I would be using it a lot, so it was a good idea for me. Um, but yeah, if you feel like you have a month where you might have a little bit more free time than you normally do, let me know, and if I have a code, I can definitely share it with you, because yeah, there's some really good um, acrylic painting courses, and all of the progress I've made with my watercolor is because of Skillshare courses. So um, yeah, it's been really good for me, and because I knew I had this extended period of time, um, I just like I know that all of these things you can learn on YouTube, but I like the structure, and I know the quality is going to be pretty good. 'Cause like when I search for a lot of like tutorials on YouTube, sometimes it's just someone painting and they don't really either tell you what they're doing, or it's not actually someone talking and like telling you the techniques. It's just, here's the color I use and do this, and that's just my brain. That's not how my brain works. Um, so yeah, Skillshare has been, yeah, such a amazing tool for me. Now that I've drawn two of these, I'm gonna have to draw a whole bunch more. I really like them, but they are a little bit fiddly. Yeah, for sure. Send me a message. Um, and like if there's something specific you want to learn, um, let me know, and I'll see if there's something that I've taken on Skillshare. I think maybe the best course I took, I mean, maybe aside from this flower one, because I actually have quite enjoyed it. But the best course I took was, it was an acrylic painting course, drawing these really cute, like big-eyed kind of fairy type portraits. But the really cool thing was, the lady used like pastels and acrylic paint. So like mostly white paint and pastels. So she would like color in the area with pastel, and then would go over it with white acrylic paint and like blend it together and mix it, and it just gave these like really beautiful, like pastel-y soft colors, and like almost this like ethereal um uh like feeling, um and I was like, I want to do this all the time. Like it was just, I don't know, it was so pretty. The only the only like small downside is I took that course just before I left on this trip to go away for a couple of weeks to do painting and just kind of get out of the house. And I just I didn't want to bring acrylic paints and everything that goes with it to like an Airbnb because I'm clumsy for one thing, and I was terrified that I would end up spilling acrylic paint and everything would fall apart. Um, and it actually just gave me a really good opportunity to, learn this medium that has frustrated me to no end over the last couple of years. So, in one way, I'm glad I had the kind of constraint that I did, but um, yeah, it was just kind of like coming off this like awesome project, and I wanted to keep doing more, but I had to leave and leave everything, all my acrylic paints at home. So hopefully, when I get back, I'll still be excited and get to play around with that medium a bit because it was just really pretty. Um, Looks like the rain has stopped. So a lot of these like vines and things, I'm gonna also do some similar things in pen. Um, but another thing I need to work on is my brush control and patience. So this isn't a bad task for me. I did not do the random art challenge. I was going to. I had some really big ideas, but it was right around the time that I was getting ready to leave for my sabbatical from work, and work was really crazy trying to like get ready for being off for 6 weeks. Um, and then my sabbatical started, and I had lots of other projects that I wanted to do. And I just think that both of those prompts were a little bit out of my skill set, and I wasn't really excited to do them, which is also probably most of the reason I didn't do it is because it didn't really interest me or excite me. Even though I would have loved to win an original piece of 1000 art, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. Okay, so I haven't tried this, but I'm gonna try to add. Oh, am I? Mm, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep these the way they are. Yeah. Um, I think I need to add a couple of flowers kind of going off the page, and then I think I'll just let this dry. What time is it? 5:30? Yeah, so I'm gonna be on for another half hour, so I think I'll do a couple more flowers, maybe some smaller ones. Um, you did the Sharon? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that good for you. That was intense. I think maybe if it were a little bit less involved and intense, I may have done it. but I don't draw a lot of animals and I don't draw a lot of people. And yeah, it just wasn't my jam at that moment. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what people came up with for sure. Yeah, um, good for you for using every part of the criteria because I know some people were talking about it and they're like, "Oh, I just picked and choose." I'm like, "That's." I mean, I get it. Like, it was a lot of things, but like that kind of wasn't like if you didn't pick all the things, that wasn't the weirdo character that was generated. So good for you. That is crazy. I'm sure it was challenging. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, um, in the art Discord that Ms. Maple and I are both part of, um, uh, the creator did a random generated prompt of an animal and a character, like a human character, and they were absolutely insane. You know, like the head of a rabbit, the body of a gorilla, of this and that. Like it was 100, like it seemed like 100 different animals. Um, and then like it had like personality characteristics as well, and like, oh, this is what his teeth is, and this is what he eats. I'm pretty sure. Like it was just crazy, and then the character was not any less um, words, any less complex. So, and he did a prompt, or sorry, a contest to win one of his paintings that he had done in a recent video. Um, that's okay. People can jump in. Project M is probably working on stuff. He's just being super supportive. Um, yeah, anyone else that has joined the chat, where are you from? What are you doing? How's your day? Or evening? Or morning? Oh man, this guy dried better than I ever could have planned. 10 out of 10. I hated him when I started. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Flower. I was wrong. I don't have anything to hold my paper down, so we may have some cooling. Also, thank you to everyone who is here. I apologize that I have not said that because I appreciate every one of you taking time out of your day to hang out and watch me figure stuff out as I go along. Ah, don't stick your hand in. Let me. You should absolutely stream painting. Um, I started doing Instagram lives a month ago, a couple months ago. I don't actually remember. And I was terrified. I didn't have a plan to do it. I think it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I like got off the couch and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stream in 2 hours. I don't know how to do it. I guess I should figure it out." And it was such a good decision. Um, I found I did a lot more art over the next, I think it was about 3 weeks that I was doing it before work got crazy. Um, yeah, I was creating a lot more art. I was learning new techniques. I was like chatting with my friend in Croatia, which was awesome. I think a couple of people from 1000's Discord joined, and they like chatted and gave me some confidence to do a few things that I was like really nervous about. Um, and then, I ended up streaming with Doug from the Discord, and that was awesome because, like, um, I really like his work, and the fact that he was like, "Hey, let's stream," I was like, yes, please." Um, so yeah, it was such a good idea, and like, it doesn't even really like to me matter if people are there. Like, it's obviously awesome if people come, but like I just kind of turned on some music and turned on the camera. If people dropped in, say hello, and yeah, it was. I don't know. It gave me a little bit of confidence too, um, because a few people popped in and out, and people that I hadn't really expected to see. Um, yeah, just do it. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. You might really enjoy doing it, um, and meet some new people, and yeah, I am pro taking chances, even though I'm scared of taking all chances. It's okay. I've come to terms with it. What else do we need? I think a lot of this is dry. I'm gonna go grab my little sketchbook. Oh, enjoy swimming. I'll I'll look forward to your message, and we can chit chat a little bit more. I hope that it doesn't start raining for you. And honestly, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been 10 out of 10 awesome. Okay, I think I'm gonna start adding some stuff. So I have these two fountain pens. Man, it is getting dark in here. I have these two fountain pens. I think this one has like a black in it, and this is like a shimmery. It's kind of a dark gray. Like if I do a really dark line, it looks almost black. Um, so what I've been doing with some of my other pieces is kind of using this color for these lighter flowers, um, and then going in like fairly heavy. This is also a medium nib, and this is a fine nib, so it kind of works out well for what I'm doing. Um, Completely accidentally, because I didn't bring any microns or Copic fine liners, nothing. So I accidentally made an excellent choice. Alright, I think just to make sure that everything is dry, I'm gonna start with drawing some things in the white space. I don't know what I want to do with this guy, but he definitely needs a stem. I have a TV above me, and I'm wondering if turning it on might provide a little bit more light. A little bit. These little vines are probably some of my favorite things to draw. Okay, I'm gonna start doing some drawing in here so it kind of starts to come together. Um, and then I can keep working on the white space later. So, one thing that I'm trying to do is not be too precious with these lines. Um, I find that the more I think about it, I stop having fun, for one thing, and it ends up looking better when I just kind of am a little bit haphazard. Oh, it is raining again. Yeah, when I'm a little bit more haphazard with my lines. So I am trying to embrace the chaos and and just be okay if it doesn't look great, because that's okay. And the weather really does not want me to get to the beach today. I learned recently that if you come to a beach town in the off season, everything closes super early. I went to the beach early yesterday because it was a really beautiful day, and I decided to take a time lapse of the water and the sun going down, which was excellent ish. I think I left around 5:30 to go to the beach, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to bring my jacket with me because I was carrying my iPad and a blanket to sit on, and I was like, man, I don't want to bring a jacket. I'll be fine. I was fine until 7 p.m. when the sun was really going down, and I was freezing cold. But I was in the middle of a time lapse, and I was not leaving until 8 p.m. when the sun was going down. Um, and at 8 o'clock, I swiftly packed everything up and basically ran home, or back to my Airbnb, only to find out the restaurant that is directly beside me stops making food at like 7 p.m. And I was freezing, and it was like 8:30, and I was hungry, and I didn't want to cook, but literally everything around here was closed, and I was very sad. Yep, it was. I was so disappointed. I even called um, Project M. I think you're the only person here. So you know what a big deal that was for me to call and ask if I could place a pickup order, and they're like, it was 8:30, and they closed at 9. They're like, no, our kitchen is closed. It was not like devastating, but I was very upset because I was, you know, I was hungry and it was late. And since I can't figure out how to turn on the gas oven, I cooked my frozen pizza in a pan from frozen, and I would call it a whopping 3 out of 10. But I did eat, so I can't complain too much. Yeah, it was really disappointing. I mean, at least now I know. It was actually going to be the first time I ate out as well. I haven't eaten out since I've been here. Um, but I mean, it's fine. I wasn't going to die. But when I decided to do the time lapse, I was like, you know what? This will be the day that I get some food at a restaurant when I get home. Jokes on me. Yeah, I think I had had a light lunch yesterday, so I was pretty hungry by supper time. Um, my pen's not working. Give it a little I hope I haven't run out of ink. That would be disappointing, as I did not. Am I liking streaming on Twitch? Yeah, actually, I think I would call today my first successful stream. Um, the one that I did on Sunday, I was a little bit nervous, and yeah, it looks like this ink is, well, there's still quite a bit in it. Yeah, Sunday stream, I didn't, I used my laptop mic, and I was streaming music from the computer as well. And I guess the music overpowered my voice. I was actually also speaking quite softly. I think I'm gonna have to switch to the Sharpie. 1 second. Can't quite reach it from here. Sorry for the noise. Um, yeah, so I was kind of timid and quiet, and at times, I guess when I really was concentrating on the art, I got really quiet, and I didn't know like how loud I could talk here because I don't know how thin the walls are, but I think it's similar to Instagram. I think one of the major kind of differences is streaming away from home and trying to figure out like what setup is good and like what to stream. Um, yeah, like overall, I like it. I like getting used to the platform. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, overall, it was good. It was a fairly short one as well. Like I don't think was even streaming for an hour. Maybe I was. It was shorter than um, what I normally stream. Um, yeah, like it was good. The camera worked, and the internet held up because it's a little bit spotty here. But yeah, overall, I was pretty happy with it, and this one has definitely gone much better. Um, and last time I was doing iPad stuff, which is okay. Um, but I think I like doing like physical art for stream a little bit more. I don't really like using the Sharpie. But again, this is a sketchbook, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, what to do with this flower? So these petals will be on top, so let's do this first. Let's put this one behind, and this one's kind of coming down. Give him a little bit of a stem. Oh, I need some twitchy modes. I know, I thought about it, but I think that might have to wait until when I get back home. because I've finally kind of gotten into a routine here and started doing a little bit more art. Um, so I think I might wait until I get home. Yeah, I think I started saying I had meant to look up the name of the absolutely like Holly. I can't remember Holly something. The lady from Skillshare whose courses I've been following the last couple of days. Holly T. I can't remember now. Um, but she is so lovely. We were chatting a little bit on Instagram today. Um, she is from Scotland, which I said earlier, but I don't know who was here. Um, but yeah, her courses are kind of short, but they're all about um, working on the sketchbook, which is something that I've been wanting to do. So yeah, it was actually a perfect find for me. And yeah, it made me finally create something in watercolor that I like. Um, so yeah, and she asked if she could share some of my photos, and I was like, yeah, of course. Or not my photos, my drawings. Um, yeah, it was very cool. And she seems super nice. Um, so anyone that does have Skillshare and wants to learn how to watercolor, I would definitely check her out. Her name do. Holy, I've missed a whole bunch of notifications. Oh yeah, Holly Thomas, HOLLYTOMAS. She's on Skillshare as Holly Thomas, and on Instagram it's Holly Thomas Design. Um, she's lovely, and her work is lovely as well. And she has a very soothing voice, which I feel fits very well with watercolors. Okay, I'm gonna try to finish this up in the next couple of minutes and add some little highlights if I can. I might stay on a few minutes longer just to finish this up. This is the first, well, not the first ever, but the first big watercolor that I finished this week. The rest of them have been a really small sketchbook. So this was a little bit intimidating when I started. I don't know what this flower is. It's okay. Did I miss anyone? I'm hoping I can get my fountain pen working again because I don't. There's nothing wrong with the Sharpie, but it's not my favorite. At least not for this. Also, it is stinky. I'm also, or that sentence is not what I meant to say. I've always been a big fan of kind of the outlines that are just a little bit off center of where the paint is. I don't I don't know why, but I'm trying to recreate that and I'm failing. I'm exactly following the outline. So maybe I'll work on that too. Let's try it again. That's better. 7 out of 10. Alright, let's add some more vines and stuff in here and just really fill out this page. Everything dry. Can I put my hands on it? Yeah. Alright. Before the light totally fails me, let's just add all of my favorite viney things. I will try to refrain from sound effects, but I make zero promises. I could have added some green in here as well, but I'm glad I didn't because I'm a little bit behind from where I wanted to be. Just 1 second. So much noise. Yeah, I can't, even though this is a thin tip, I can't get a really like fine tip on. Maybe switch. It's a little bit disappointing. I feel like these flowers are so delicate, but these lines are just too like bold. Maybe I'll use my other pen for a little bit and add some of these finer details. Yeah, I just think this matches the like scale a lot better. It's probably hard for you to see, but I apologize. Oh, that's turning out great. Thank you. Friends, get yourself someone who supports you like Project M supports me. Whew, I'm getting hungry. Alright, I'm just gonna add some little dots, maybe some little hearts, little baby hearts, maybe some little pretend flowers. I could also go back in and add, some details with watercolors, but in the interest of time, I'm just gonna keep adding these little dudes. We got one of these leaves in here. I feel like I should even just add a couple of random ones. I think the next thing I need to work on is like overlapping some of these flowers, because up until this point I've been a little bit nervous to do it. Because I know that as soon as go over and re-wet the watercolor, that I don't know what that was. It has it can smear because it can be re-wet. So I think I might just build up to that because I don't think I'm quite there yet. But yeah, because I would really add a lot more like depth and dimension to this instead of it being just this kind of flat painting. But if we got time, I'll get there. Well, it is 6:05. Actually, right, I said I was going to add some highlights. So let's just add a little bit of some of these dudes. I'm not doing it in any particular fashion. I'm not really thinking about a light source right now. I'm just gonna add stuff where I want, because I want to. I'm not gonna add too much, because this pen isn't liking me either today. I just can't win with my pens. I really like this flower, and I don't want to add anything else to him because he's my favorite. I think I'm gonna leave it. Yep. I'm gonna give her a little sign with my ever-evolving signature. One day I will figure it out. I'm gonna try not to drop 3 buckets of water all over the place. Cool. Well, thank you to everyone who has been here. If anyone happens to watch this later, I don't know. Thanks for coming, for joining, for saying hello, for chatting. Yeah, it was super fun. I may do it again later this week. I will see how I feel. I've been a little bit sleepy lately, but we shall see. Um, But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.